I've added my figure. First of all, I had to find my reference, and this seems rather large and overwhelming, but what I loved about it was that she was actually cutting something at a cutting board and in her kitchen. So I went ahead with the usual process. I traced her onto my tracing paper, which seems very, and she's huge, but that's not a problem, because all I had to do was, when I printed her out, I printed her out at a reduced size, and then I know that the crotch is halfway on the figure. So all I had to do was to measure from her crotch to the top of her head, and from her crotch to the bottom of her feet. And I was able to then put in the rest of the figure. Now, she might be completely covered by countertop and you won't need to see the rest of the shape of her leg. But for mine, I have her here at the end of the table. I'm going to have her cutting a loaf of homemade bread, and her feet are just here where the end of the stool is, and where just before the beginning of the toe kick for the island. Don't forget the toe kicks. It's very important that you put that in as well. I still had to resize my new drawing of her, and now our eye level, remember, is at 6 feet, and she's a lady, so we don't want to make her 6 feet, but 5'6" is pretty good. Using the left vanishing point, I brought her back to the wall. Here's where she hits on the wall. I brought that up to 5 feet 6 inches. And then again, I used the left vanishing point to bring 5 feet 6 inches across to where I wanted to place her. So now the top of her head is at 5'6", and the bottom of her feet lines up just exactly like that. Please remember that we also need to put in this doorway. Make it quite thick to start with, and then divide that in half, and that will be where our detailing will occur. So once you have that in, using your right vanishing point, you can begin to build the inside part where the glass and the frame are inside there. And we're just eyeballing this, but it occurs half a foot past this cabinetry on the left wall. And this will give it authenticity as well, since we're recessing it. It's not at the beginning here, and then we can add all sorts of wonderful detailing for the frame of the window. We can put 2 lines. Now, this isn't our detailed drawing, but just to give you an idea that we can begin to make this add to the whole visual interest of the drawing. And we have a break here before, and this looks like something. I think that's the light over the table, but we might be able to include something there as well. We're going to add a few more things this week. We have mullions down below, so we can begin making a separation between one side of the door and the other. We can start that here. And we're just estimating these sizes. Okay, and this won't divide evenly. It has an unusual number of divisions, an odd number. So when you make an X, you can find the middle, and we'll just simplify. No one's going to notice if we don't have as many divisions as is in the reference. So, and if I divide in half and then half again, now that we've got a lot of lines on, it's distracting. So that's a large part of mastering perspective is to be ability, and it comes with practice, the ability to ignore what's going on behind something while you're working on what it is you're after, what you're trying to get. And we already know where the center is. I'm not doing this for this reason. I'm doing it so that I can have the number of, an even number of divisions here for my mullions. So I've got one there, and I've got one here. Now, if in our drawing we can see the other side, these are easily transferable over to the other, and it might be the right thing for your drawing to be able to see these 4 divisions on the other side. Such a valuable, valuable, valuable thing to know how to do is to divide up spaces. I'm just going to make these a little thicker, so. And we'll add a little bit of detail. My pencil isn't sharp enough really for this job, but so there we are. We've got some mullions, whether we, not so many as they had, and maybe not so slim, but if we divide down the middle, that will look better. And I know where the center is from all of my X's, so. And also I can tell from. Okay, so now that's looking more like a window. Often this is split in half, but I think we'll leave it. They can sometimes be opened. What I really loved about this kitchen when I first saw the reference picture was actually how very light and airy it looked. So we have everything. We have skylights, and we have a window, and we also have that large door that is nothing but window, and we have many, many light sources. I would like you to think up a descriptive phrase and use the word kitchen in your title block as well. It doesn't have to be the same title as mine, but if you want to use that, you can. Just choose a different font and work out a different way of arranging your lettering. Also, make sure to choose a reference picture for your figure and attach it to the back of your simple box form drawing.